sometimes you get lots of emails about certain subjects or lots of email from certain people that you really don't necessarily need to read right away, or maybe you just want to have them marked in a certain way so that you can recognize them when they come in. So what you can do is something called creating a filter. So let's say that I get this email. I can come over to, once I've clicked on the email message and I've got the email message open, I can click on my More button and I can do filter messages like these. When I click that, it's going to open up this new window. It's going to give me some options on how I want to organize my filter. Do I want to organize it by who sent it to me? I can do that. And I can add multiple people with an or. It'll look at emails from any of these people. If I put an and, it'll look for emails to, if I put an and, it'll look at emails that were addressed to from both of these people. If I want to, I can do the same thing for who the email was sent to. Maybe I don't care who it's from, but maybe anything that goes to myself and this address, I know I want to look at specially, or I want to mark it special. Or if I want, I can say any email message that has in its subject certain words. Or maybe it's not in the subject. Maybe I want to put that as something that's in the body of the letter someplace. These words appear somewhere. Or it doesn't have certain words. The trick with doesn't have is you're going to want to add some additional information. So if it was from a certain person and it doesn't have the word compliment, it's going to look at these two factors. And also it has an attachment. We'll say it has an attachment, right? So it's going to use these as the triggers. So if I get an email from this email address that does not have this word inside it, and there is an attachment, I can have Gmail do something to it. So now I'm going to decide what I want it to do. So I can create a filter with this search. So when it gets those three triggers that I set on the last page, I can tell it what I want it to do. Skip the inbox. I don't want to read it right away. Mark it as read because I don't need it to show up. Put a star on it. Or you know what? I don't want it to skip the inbox, but I do want it starred. And I also want to put a label on it. I want to put the label, create a new label for myself there. So it's going to automatically apply that label. If I want, I can have it forwarded to someplace. I can say just delete anything that comes with those triggers on it. Don't send it to spam though, because it's not a spam. I can have a pre-recorded message, a canned response set up that will automatically be sent back. Now I don't have any set up right now. We'll talk about canned response at a later point. I can mark it as important. I can put it in a category. And so once I've chosen what I want to be done, once those triggers are hit, I can also apply the filter to any matching messages that I have. So right now there is one message that matches my criteria. And if I click that and I click Create Filter, that message that I got has now been sent to the idiot file. It's got that label attached already. As soon as stuff comes in from this person with an attachment without the word compliment in it, that's going to go right in. So I can do the same idea over here. I can filter messages like these. I don't want it specifically from this person, but I do want one that has the word angry in it. And I'm going to create a label called angry. How about if we create a label called that? And I'm going to skip my inbox because I don't need to see it when it comes in. I'm going to apply that to any messages I have with that word in it. There's 5 of them. So if I click Create Filter, it's going to add all 5 of those to, it's going to add the label to all 5 of those messages. And you can see that they all have the words in the subject line. They're also in the body someplace. So it's all there, filtered for me. So filters are your friend. They can save you some time. They can help you organize your stuff. Now, I want to show you one more thing about filters here. The other cool thing you can do with a filter is, let's say that I set up a filter that anytime I get an email message from this person, anytime I get email from that person, I want to skip my inbox and I want to apply the label. I want to apply this label. You could also set up multiple filters for the same address to apply more than one filter to an email. So I create my filter. I don't want it applied to old things. I only want it to be on new things. So I create it. So anything that I get from this person is going to go right into this folder. Create my filter. So if that person sends me an email, that email is going to go on its way. So that message has arrived, and I know that's arrived, even though it's not in my inbox, because I told the filter, don't put that stuff from that person in my inbox. I don't need to see it. But I can see that it's been sent right to the label, and I can tell that there's a new message there because it's bolded. It's telling me there's one new message. So if I click on that label, there's that new message. It showed up. Skip my inbox. So you can use that as a way to sort of quickly and easily filter your information out of your inbox, because I really don't need that stuff from this person showing up in my inbox. It's going to all show up down here. Now the other thing you can do with your labels when you turn a filter on like that is you can come over to the drop down next to the name of the filter, and you can say to show the label all the time in the label list, or hide the label so it never shows up. But you could also say show if unread, which is kind of handy. So if I do show if unread, it disappears from here, but check it out. If I set this one to show if unread, it still shows up because there's an unread message. So if I hide this one instead, it goes away from my list. Now you're saying, but if it's hidden, how are you going to know if you got stuff in it? If you click on more, it shows you all of your current labels that are running. So even though they're hidden, they're over here underneath the more option. So you can use that as a way to, I like to set all my labels to show if unread, so that if something gets filtered into that label, it's still going to show up in my list over here, so I'll know, oh, by the way, I want to check that out later, right? So handy little thing, setting your labels to show if unread. Handy little trick. Use filters. They will help you organize your life.